Alright, so this is Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. When you start a new game, there's like a really long intro. It's really boring, nothing happens, so for the speedrun we just start from the save when you gain full control. That's what I'll be doing. Time starts. So immediately I'm going to do a glitch with a quick save and quick load to give myself infinite sprint, and I can even jump while sprinting now. And I'm just going to jump around this dragon and jump on this burning building. Go around out here. I'm going to make a quick save here and then jump out of Helgen. Now I can't actually just go on with the game like this because my hands are bound and I can't interact with anything, so I can't beat the game in this state. So I need to be able to... So I'm going to make a save here and then go back to this save. I'm going to go into Helgen Cave and I'm going to get my hands unbound. I'm going to skip this guy's dialogue with quick save and quick load. Skip an animation by jumping. I'm going to loot this chest, which I'll need, make a new save, and then load that save that I made right in front of the end of Helgen, right beside the load. I'm going to try and basically pause the game right as I entered the load zone. It's a pretty tight window. That was slightly too early. There's not much margin for error here. Excuse me. You only have probably a couple frames, and just one frame to do this. There we go. Now blind, I have to quit out to main menu and load up the save that I made in Helgen Keep. That's going to load up the character, and then it's going to trigger the actual load that I delayed with the menu by pausing the game and quitting out. So now the character that has his hands unbound is out at the back entrance of Helgen and just continue on with the run. So that's a glitch called load warping. It was discovered by accident in Oblivion and works in a bunch of Elder Scrolls games. And the actual setup that you do to make them work in the different games is completely different, but they all do basically the same thing. It basically just delays an area transition until after you load a different character, so that character goes through the area transition instead of the one that you were controlling previously. All those falls that I just made are perfectly safe, you'll never die. And now I need a whole bunch of money for this run, like a decent chunk of money. So luckily I'm pretty good at bartering, and I'm actually just going to sell this guy's inventory to himself.
Until next time.
And then I'm gonna piss him off and quick load, and that resets his gold. And now I can steal all of his gold again. And just like that, I have like 1,200 gold, and I can just do everything I need to for the whole run. Going to need a whole bunch of money for fast traveling around, taking the carriage. Going to need 200 gold to buy a certain piece of equipment, and 500 gold for something really magical that you'll see later on. Now, I want to get up there to Dragon's Reach for a fast travel point later on that I'm going to need. But it's really far away. I don't want to walk that far. Even though I have infinite stamina, it'll still take some time. So I'm just going to run up here, and I'm going to tap this guard on the shoulder and throw some money in his face. And he's just going to take me straight up Dragon's Reach, which is really nice of him. So I get that fast travel point, and I go back to the farm, which I was just at. And now I can take the carriage. I don't actually need to be in Whiterun yet.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
So I'm going to go to Solitude next. And I have to be a little bit careful when choosing the menu there. If you choose the wrong one, you have to correct him twice. Actually get to where you want to be going. So now I'm at Solitude. If you're familiar with the questline, you might be a little confused why I'm here. Normally don't come here until decently far into the main quest. I'm heading up right now to the Thalmor Embassy. Normally it's completely locked off. You can't get in. You need to be transported there by a quest, which is over a third of the way through the main quest line. But fortunately, when I was in Riverwood, I picked up a bucket, which is going to be my friend and help me out here. Also notice I'm just kind of jumping constantly. You move very slightly faster jumping over uneven terrain than just running up it. It's a very small difference, but it does add up for the entire run. I'm going to run up to this wall, I'm going to drop the bucket and pick it up, and then I'm just going to kind of go straight through this wall. Like it's not even there. Walls in this game are more suggestions than anything. So now that I'm in here, I'm going to loot this chest. I'm going to miss the loot chest. There we go. Chest. Fucking me. So in that chest is a very valuable item. And when I go back to the stables here, I'm going to activate the quest Diplomatic Immunity. And that skips a whole bunch of stuff in the game. That skips talking to the Jarl of Whiterun. It skips fighting your first dragon. It skips meeting the Greybeards. It skips going on a quest for them to do stuff. It skips learning more about dragons. It skips a whole bunch of stuff. Also, I'm gonna punch this horse. I'm sorry, but I need to go fast. You'll also notice that the horse was worth a 45 gold bounty when punching the guard was only 40. It's a very valuable animal.
Someone there. I knew it.
So up here there's a big gap. I'm just gonna jump around it because I can jump while sprinting. It's pretty convenient. And down here I'm going to meet Esbern. The quest that I was put on was you're supposed to go talk to Delphine. It doesn't matter. You can just go straight to talk to Esbern. Crazy old man in the middle of the Ratway. So, up here. Now, I don't actually know I'm the Dragonborn, but apparently I just kind of automatically know that I'm the Dragonborn. I haven't done any of the quests that relate at all to being a Dragonborn or anything like that. I haven't absorbed any Dragon Souls or anything like that, haven't learned any words. But I already know I'm the Dragonborn. So even if I clip in here, it won't help, because you have to wait for this door to open before you can interact with Esbern. He's actually just standing there, staring at the door while you wait for this. Alright, so gotta mash through some dialogue here.
No, the dragons are... Oh.
Now I need to get out of this area, and it takes a really long time to run all the way back. Like way longer than it does to get there in the first place. So instead what I'm gonna do is make a save, and I'm gonna load up the load warp save that I made previously. And we're just going to load warp our way out instead. There we go. Main menu. Load up Ratway Warrens. And me and Esbern are now transported back to Helgen. Means we just walk out here and we can fast travel away. Saves a pretty decent amount of time. Now here you're actually supposed to go Riverwood, and then Esbern and Delphine will talk and stuff.
Where do you want to
I'm not
go?
going to do that right now. Instead I'm going to go to Markarth and travel to Karspire
Ever been to Markarth?
and get a fast travel point for later, and that's actually going to both put the world time in a better place for me, and also make it so Esbern will not troll me later when we try to go there. If you just you go to Skyhaven Temple with Esbern normally, you have to wait for him to get up there, and since we we won't really get there the intended way. He has some trouble getting there, so just getting the fast travel point and warping there later is way more consistent. Since there's a number of things on the run that actually depends on the time of day, doing this first actually manipulates the time of day to be way more favorable for a number of things we want to do.
I don't know who you think I am. I don't care. Leave me alone.
There's a number of things that can happen here on this run. We just got the Red Guard warriors yelling about some things. They're kind of boring, not very interesting. Sometimes you get the Headless Horseman, and he likes to glitch out and fly across the universe, and it's pretty adorable to watch. Fortunately, he's pretty rare.
Someone there?
Alright, so hit the car spire.
What was that?
What was that?
Excuse me.
Can't hide from me.
Not hiding from you, buddy. So here's a puzzle. I don't want to do puzzle. Puzzles are slow. I'm just gonna jump over the puzzle. Not sure what happened there. On this rock, jump on this bush, which is evil, and jump over here. And that's quite a bit faster than just doing the puzzle. Now I'll go to Riverwood. Esbern and Delphine have a dialogue here. It's really boring and slow, so we're just going to go in and out here to try to skip as much of it as we can. Alright, got the update as I was leaving, which is perfect. Now we want to go back to Skyhaven. And make them appear here with a weight. Perfect.
Very good.
Now I triggered the door to open and I leave because the door takes quite a while to open. Don't want to bother doing that right now. Don't want to wait for it, so instead I'm just going to go do something else.
Traveling in. Where do you want to go?
My way to
Climb and
Winterhold.
back and we'll be off. It's almost getting downright hot now.
So later on, oh, see the update thing. Quest update just popped up, which means the door actually opened now. So much later on in the quest, I'm going to need an Elder Scroll. And the first step to getting the Elder Scroll is I need to go meet up with our dear friend Septimus Cygnus and get an object from him. Oh, this jump is perfectly safe. I don't even know why I bothered quick saving for it, because you actually can't die. 100% consistent. And luckily, with the infinite sprint glitch that I do, you actually swim just as fast as you run. So as long as I'm not getting like stuck on anything, I don't really have to worry about what I'm doing. Get out to Walrus. There's Septimus's outpost. So he's got an item on him that we need to get the Elder Scroll. We could just talk to him, but he talks for quite a while and it's not very interesting. So instead what we can do is just crouch and steal it from his pocket in midair and walk out of there. Alright, and by now Skyhaven Temple is completely opened. Go back here.
Isn't it amazing?
Thing. Alright, so I need to get these guys through another bit of dialogue, but first what I'm going to do is come over here and pick up this sword, which is Dragonbane. immediately put it in here, and then I'm going to equip it while it's in this chest on both hands. Don't think about that too hard, but basically it's still in the chest, but I also have it equipped on both hands. Don't worry about it. It's just a
You
thing.
ever heard of such a thing? You're probably
Alright, this is supposed to be a long cutscene, but we just kind of skip all of the dialogue so we can just go straight out now.
This is where they recorded all the news of old men.
And now we need to actually get the Elder Scroll. This is the last long run that we have to go through. Hopefully we'll get lucky and we'll see a Skyrim space program happen here. But it's probably even more rare than the Ghost Horse. Ah, we just got the mage fight. Mage fight is boring. The sword that I picked up during the wall is called Dragonbane. Just a basic longsword, but it also does 20 points of damage extra against dragons, or I think 10 against everything else. And that's going to really help with fights that I have to do. Oh, I also never mentioned. Right now I'm currently a high elf. You can see. The speed that you move at is actually dependent on how tall your character is. And how tall you are just depends on which race you pick. High elves are the tallest character, therefore they are the fastest. Previously we'd use orc, because they're the second tallest, but they also have an ability that makes fighting a lot faster. But now that we can sort of dupe Dragonbane, they're no longer worth it. This is the Tower of Mazark. You're supposed to exit through this here, but you can just kind of wiggle your way through this wall and open up the elevator from here. And you skip going all the way down through one of a few different dungeons, through Blackreach and back up through here. And now I need to solve this incredibly taxing puzzle where you hit a button 4 times and then 2 times and then once. Alright, we got it. Nice. This is a very interesting bucket. I'm going to take that just in case I need it. You never know. Buckets do have magical properties after all. And pick up the Elder Scroll. Alright, now that I have the Elder Scroll, it's finally time to go meet the Greybeards. And to get there, the fastest way is by horse. So I'm just gonna steal this horse real quick. Nobody knows, it's fine. We've manipulated the time of day, so it's night when you steal that horse. Now, horses normally can't sprint for very long, but I'm gonna do a little bit of magic. First I make it so they can sprint forever, and then I make it so you can never lose that sprint by like falling or something else. So now we get one of the more annoying parts of the run, which is the horse climb. Horses are normally... oh jeez, this is already terrible. Horses are normally supposed to be completely consistent, but when you're doing this totally intended mechanic of going flying up mountains, they tend to vary a lot. Some horses are just way better at flying up mountains than other ones. You can kind of like kick the horse with a quick save, quick load to try to make it a better horse. And it seems like I have a much better horse than I started with here. So you can just kind of do this totally intended mechanic. Climb up this mountain here. This horse actually is not that good. Really would appreciate it if it had sped up a little bit. This little part. Alright, so that skips running up a lot of these stairs. There's supposed to be like 10,000 stairs or whatever the lore is, I don't know, but it's actually not nearly that many. Now unfortunately, since we did the embassy skip at the start, skip the quest that's actually supposed to unlock the doors to High Hrothgar. So the front doors are locked and we can't get in there. But our friendly horse here is pretty good at coming around the back door. Let's kind of go over the mountain here, around to this door. So now we need to talk to Arangir, and this dialogue is actually very important to get right. If you do, you will piss off Arangir,
Where did you learn
and
that?
then
They
bad
have
things
all-
will happen.
You learned nothing from us. But heed my warning. No, it is called.
Okay.
We do not regret this.
That's the part where he
Was
gets
created
mad.
Their whole life. When you learn, in order
Oops.
to learn and use
That was a
only
long dialogue.
Paarthurnax, the monk. He lives. He speaks to us. Only those whose voice is strong can.
Bump him and you wait so he transports over there, outside. Our horsey's still here. Good, we need him to get to the very top of the world. And fortunately horses are also really good at learning words. You learn words while on a horse way faster than normal. And I need clear skies here to finish the game. Not to get to the top of this mountain like intended, because we have a horse. Why do we need to go the intended path? But we will need that for the final fight. And this horse is also pretty slow. Okay. Have to position this better. Go fast. Just there's a certain path you can follow that's kind of safe and your horse will always make it up, but it's a bit slower than just being able to plow through directly, like a good horse would be able to do. But it's not too bad. Bit more height here. Go over here to the top. So, up here is the throat of the world, and we get to meet Mario. This lovely big dragon over here.
Who are you? I am not until introductions.
Gonna skip some of his dialogue. Talks a lot. Now I'm going to skip this fire breath. And now he's just really mad at me for screaming. Just screaming constantly forever. Just kidding. Stop it. And now we gotta breathe fire in his face because he's into that sort of thing, I guess.
So, what would you ask?
So now I just mash through this guy's dialogue.
Would not come out, but you're our Hadrime, Drem, or prove some. Perhaps this world. Ha! There is, but you. Do the here the no. It was the cat.
So now we're supposed to read the Elder Scroll and start a cutscene, which is really long and boring and nothing happens for it. We're going to do something different instead. I'm going to first quick save, fast travel, and quick load, and that'll activate a glitch that I'm going to abuse. And I'm going to go to Riften. Because the one thing I think
I'm really
that,
getting tired of
wow,
your
that
nonsense.
frame rate. The one thing that all speedruns are missing, honestly,
Blessings of wonderful.
is a little bit of
Tomorrow,
marriage.
We also perform wedding ceremony.
I
Yes.
think all speedruns should contain marriage.
A person who is
So
another
we're gonna get
person shows
married.
interest. Here you are.
First, whoops. wrong button.
The
I need to get an
signs.
Amulet of Mara.
Size
I throw
skill. You're the master
$500
of
at this
magic.
guy, and he's just like, alright, let's get married.
It's settled then.
Sick. So, talk to
How may I
Marimo,
help you?
set up our wedding.
What's the hurry?
I've been looking
Oh, courier got us.
for a letter. Looks like that's it.
So, we have a wedding to get to. It's the next day, so I'm just going to
Since you paid
travel away and back again, and that'll get forward a day in time. Grifton is very laggy right now. It's fine. So I'm going to open this door and then read the Elder Scroll. So that's going to start the marriage cutscene. But because of the glitch that I triggered before, I'm going to be able to read the Elder Scroll right here, even though I'm not supposed to be able to, and that's going to transport me into the cutscene. That'll fail the marriage objective, which will make me... which will regain control of my character. So now, this is supposed to be like a vision of the past, but we have full control of our character, except for saving and waiting. But otherwise, full control. We just killed a dragon who was in the past. Don't think about it too much. It's a little bit weird, but it's normal Skyrim, I assure you. And we also just kind of poke these people. That skips all of their dialogue, because they get really confused why some vision from the future is affecting them in the past. You get Hakon next.
What?
Gormlith, Gormlith and Feldir back and forth again. Just why? Oh, never mind.
I never agreed. No, we will deal with Alduin.
We shall see.
Got one line. So this is already much, much faster than it normally is. Just because we can skip over dialogue. Alright, I wait for him to talk, and then I fast travel away and back again. You can't interrupt the dragon's lines, so fast traveling away and back will skip the lines instead. Okay, they do Dragon Rend, so now we know Dragon Rend. That's the whole point we came here. Wait for him to land and then look at me. Then I can fast travel away. If I do that any earlier, you'll just soft lock the game because Skyrim. But if I wait for him to look at me, then I'm perfectly safe. I'm going to things that I need. And I'm gonna kill her, so you don't get an animation here of him killing her. I'm gonna skip through all this dialogue. I'm also gonna favorite these things. Dragon Rend equipped. Can't interrupt this line, unfortunately. Let's get here. All the way over here, that's annoying. And that's it for the cutscene. It's normally way longer than that. It's over in like a couple minutes. Now I'm gonna shout him as soon as I can see him, which skips him flying all the way around. I'm in a bad position here, I need to shout him. Oh, this is bad. Yeah. So there's a glitch. I'm just gonna restart the fight. There's a glitch that prevents you from being able to shout, and it's really annoying. There we go, this is good. Go ahead, shout at me, I dare you. So I'm doing a glitch here called Infinite Power Attacks. You may notice that I'm not actually using any stamina, even though I'm doing just consistent power attacks. So that lets me defeat Alduin way easier than normal. It's actually kind of a difficult fight with High Elf, but since you're able to just continually power back them and keep them staggered, it's not that bad.
Lot Congra.
Now, talk to Parthenax and leave. After all that exciting marriage and cutscene and battling and everything, we need to set up something incredibly boring to make up for it. So now we need a plan to capture a dragon so we can go to where Alduin is off hiding. And to do that, we need to set up a peace council. And politics are just as boring as you expect. So we skipped through this dialogue that we were supposed to go through at the very beginning of the game, but we never did.
Here, there. Come, let's go find Farengar. My court
Go over here. Go through more dialogue that he's now giving you like what's supposed to be your first proper quest, which is to get the Dragonstone. Because, you know, you need to know about these potential dragons that may or may not be happening. But once you go through that, you can actually go through where you're supposed to be in the quest, which is we need to capture a dragon. And he says, not yet. You gotta make peace, because there's also some plot about, you know, there's some war going on between one boring side and another boring side, so gotta make peace between that. So the doors. Oh, there goes the amulet. All right, we're not gonna get married again. We don't need that amulet anymore. It's fine. The doors to Hrothgar are still closed, which means we need another way of getting inside. So we're trying. Through this wall. There we go. That was a much better setup. You can go into this wall, and then you can go through the backwards area. And RNG is just sitting here waiting because we've manipulated the time correctly.
We are not warriors.
Otherwise, you'd have to go inside, go find them,
I see.
and then come back out before you can fast travel away. So, here, I didn't use a weight.
I need to ask you to.
Hi.
You have committed crime.
Awkward. So, you get the guard to arrest you, so you can go straight up here to Castle Dower.
Irma, do you have some
So you need to convince this guy to let you, or to come to the Peace Council.
Speak with the Greybeard.
And basically all you have to do
There's nothing.
is basically tell him you can't afford to snub the Greybeards, and that's enough. That convinces him to make peace with his mortal enemies.
Helgen.
That's one half convinced. Go convince the other half.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
So,
Climb and back.
Windhelm.
I'll be off. Ever been to Windhelm? Oldest city in Skyrim by some account. They say the big old palace there was built by
Off this way. Time this, so you showed this perfectly right as it goes around the corner. That didn't work because of reasons. Sometimes the guard just kind of ignores your fire breath. Don't worry about it. It's Skyrim. Skyrim happens. I guess they're just really cold, so they appreciate all the warmth that you give them. Mess up this guy's meal.
I remember you. Speak.
And now we can, to convince this guy, you basically say, well, the other guy's coming, so you've got to come too. Because, oh, okay.
Yes. And what would you have me do?
That's it.
If he's not with us.
And we go back to Hrothgar. More better setup this time, so we can actually get through. And now we gotta go through with the Peace Council. This is the hypest part of the entire run. Everybody absolutely loves this part.
You're not welcome here.
It's just pure politics and it's so good.
I should not have agreed. I hope
I'm just going to be... I don't actually have control, but I can still save. Which means I'm going to be quick saving and quick loading basically every single bit of dialogue for this entire thing. So they don't speak it out. Every now and then I'm going to have a dialogue prompt that I have to smash through.
I'm glad.
If I accidentally quick save and quick load right as that dialogue prompt appears, then I'll just soft lock. So fun fact, she's actually supposed to leave because you kicked her out, but the front door is still locked, which means she doesn't know how to leave. So she just kind of awkwardly stands there and stares at you the entire time.
Where?
Pause. Start again. It's actually really difficult to do this effectively. You really have to pay attention to like the exact amount of gaps with every bit of line, where you need to use a wait. The pauses are. Unfortunately, it's really boring to watch. Now, there's 3 lines that we can't skip at all. If you try, you'll just loop the line over and over again. But I need to wait for that line to go through before I can mash through again.
We're all here.
Elias gets mad, but that's fine. Always mad.
Stop.
Esbern yells. Does his dialogue as well.
Can you not?
Another unskippable line here.
I don't know about the end of the world, but this dragon situation has gotten out of hand. If this... We want...
This line is... There's just a timer until the next one, so there's no point in skipping this one. Click through this dialogue. Finally make Tullius happy.
For what?
Optimal way of going through this.
Please. The Stormcloaks will
Last
withdraw
unskippable
from the
line.
rift, allowing Imperial troops unhindered access. Jarl.
Last pause. And now we just mash our way to victory. So unfortunately, I know you all really loved this part, but unfortunately this is coming to an end. But now we get to talk to our best mate Esbern over here.
Justice demands that he... And
Cross-referencing. Shout out to cross-referencing, the most interesting word you can put into a video game.
I think it's very likely.
He tells us about Odahviing. He's the dragon we need to call, so we can go bully him and make him take us somewhere we want to go. Next up, we're going to Dragon's Reach. We're going to catch Odahviing. And it turns out it's kind of a silly thing you can do here. Let's go up, talk to the Jarl. Tell him we're ready.
As I promised. My men know
Skipped his dialogue, and I'm actually gonna call Odahviing while I'm indoors. Apparently he still hears it, so that's cool, I guess. And I'm gonna wait at these doors. I'm going to time it correctly. So I'm going to shout him as soon as I walk through these doors, and it'll hit him. And okay, cool. There's a guard here who's dead, which is perfect. And you need to pay attention to me, buddy. Hi. Oh, wow, okay. Your left is flying. I need him to follow me. Alright, cool. He's following now. Irleth is going on an adventure. I'm a little bit jealous. So we leave and we come back and he's just captured himself. It's pretty handy. And mash through his dialogue. And we decide to let him go so he can take us where we want to go. He's a couple weights, so he just warps over here. Dialogue. And now there's a really goofy cutscene that you can watch where we fly on his back and it looks terrible, but we can just skip it by fast traveling away instead. And then we'll appear here. Alright, this is Skyrim. This is like the final dungeon of the entire place. There's like a really big area that you need to run through, and it's really annoying and it sucks. So instead what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up a bucket and just fly over it. Okay, this is not good. That dragon is landing really fast. Oh no. That dragon is not supposed to. Okay, we're gonna go over here and do this more safely. It's this way. What's happened? Okay. This dragon, this is the worst luck you can possibly have. I am upset by this. It's okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. This dragon is being the worst troll I've ever seen in my entire life. He has never been this bad. Good to know. Okay, we needed to go the other direction. Not good. This is basically by far the worst I've ever seen. Let's go. Alright, we made it up here. This lets us skip the entire dungeon of Skyrim. Oh, okay. Would appreciate this would work as well now. So I did a thing to try to manipulate the dragon from landing that soon and screwing me over, but it doesn't always work. Okay, got the backup eventually. Anyway. So we're now on Sovngarde. This is like the afterlife, but we're here because we're alive. Plot reasons, don't worry about it. There's just a little bit left until we actually beat the game. So first up we have the actual final boss of the game, which is soon. It's actually kind of scary.
What brings you, Wayfarer?
Alright, he ran straight backwards, which is perfect. He can decide to dodge your fireball, and then he can decide to insta-kill you, even if you have like most of your health left. But he's a little bit scary. But he cooperated there. Now we need to go into this Hall of Valor, get these friendly heroes to follow us. And for whatever reason, doing a quick save, quick load in here makes them go faster, which doesn't really make sense with how the game works, but whatever. Now we have this incredibly thrilling segment of blowing away mist that the developers thought was okay. That line. Incredibly brilliant segment of blowing away mist. It is absolutely thrilling. Just the build up for the final battle. Whew. Crazy. I put on infinite sprint again.
Does his strength
Alright, now I want this guy on here. He spawned in that stupid spot. Alright. Dragons are just trolling me so bad right now. He's not being consistent. Did I get him now? There we go. Now we're just going to stab him until he dies. I would prefer it if you didn't slide away from me when I'm attacking you. And time ends as soon as he dies, which is there. Skyrim doesn't have like a proper ending or credits or anything, so this is the actual end. Alduin explodes. And as is tradition, you gotta start moonwalking.
The doom of Alduin encompassed at last. Cleansed the summer.
That's it for the game.